Robert Spencer here for Jihad Watch with the question, what is jihad? Jihad in Arabic means struggle, and there are as many struggles in the Arabic language as there are struggles in English. You can struggle to quit smoking or lose weight, and there is the titanic struggle between the free world and the communist world, or something of that kind. And in all cases, the word is the same, struggle. The word struggle, or jihad, has the same kind of array of connotations in Arabic. The Islamic Republic of Iran has a government department, the Department of Agricultural Jihad. It doesn't mean blowing things up on the farm. It means trying to increase crop yields, struggling on the farm for better results. But jihad in Islamic theology has a very specific meaning, and that is warfare against and the subjugation of unbelievers under the hegemony of Islamic law. Now, many people will object and say, no, that's the lesser jihad. The greater jihad is the spiritual struggle within one's soul to bring one's life into conformity with the will of Allah. And there is some truth in that. There is indeed a greater jihad. There is a hadith, a report of Muhammad's words and deeds in which he says, after coming up from a battle, we have now come from the lesser jihad to the greater jihad. But that is problematic in several very important ways. One is, it does not appear in any of the primary collections of hadith that Muslim scholars consider to be most reliable. There is no record in Bukhari or Muslim or Abu Dawud or any of the other collections of hadith that Muslims rely on the most. There is no record in any of them of Muhammad saying, we are now coming from the lesser jihad to the greater jihad. What's more, the greater jihad as a concept is really an empty thing. Of course, religions will call upon those who adhere to them to strive for self-improvement, but that in itself is not a controversial issue. Nobody would really care if jihad were solely the struggle within the soul of the Muslim believer to conform one's life to the will of Allah, were it not for the fact that the will of Allah is that Muslims have political hegemony and cultural societal hegemony over the unbelievers. And this is the lesser jihad. The lesser jihad in Islamic theology is the reason why anybody cares who is not a Muslim about the concept of jihad at all and why it bothers anyone. So, in other words, when the Council of American Islamic Relations several years ago ran a nationwide ad campaign saying, my jihad is going to the gym, or my jihad is picking up the kids from school, those were all examples of the greater jihad, but they were deliberately innocuous and hence actually completely irrelevant, because they did not negate the fact that all too many Muslims everywhere around the world have been acting upon the teachings regarding the lesser jihad, which mandates warfare against the unbelievers, and that the unbelievers be first invited to accept Islam, second, invited to enter the Islamic social order, which means that they would pay a special tax, the jizya, as specified in chapter 9, verse 29 of the Quran, and also show themselves to be submissive and subdued, also in accord with that verse. The executors of Allah's wrath on this earth are the Muslims. And one of their jobs is to make sure that the non-Muslims feel the pain in this world, not just in the next, of their having rejected Allah. That is the point of the lesser jihad, to make the non-Muslims suffer, to make them accept the institutionalized discrimination, humiliation, and ongoing harassment that entering the Islamic social order or entering the state of dhimitude involves. And if they refuse to accept Islam, if they refuse the invitation to accept Islam, and if they refuse to enter the Islamic social order and accept dhimitude, the second-class status that always reminds them by their deprivation of their having rejected the true faith of Islam, then Muslims must go to war with them. That is the primary meaning in terms of Islamic history and practice of jihad. It is the main meaning that has caused there to be strife throughout history between Muslims and non-Muslims and causes that strife all around the world today. It is the motivating ideology behind terrorism when committed by Muslims who are screaming Allahu Akbar. They think they are serving their God and pleasing their God by murdering infidels who have refused the invitation to accept Islam that was issued to the United States by Osama bin Laden. And therefore, they are earning for themselves his favor And they would hope that if they are killed in the process, then they will lay hold of the promise that Allah makes in chapter 9, verse 111 of Quran, that paradise is guaranteed to those who kill and are killed for Allah. That is what jihad is all about. Conversion, subjugation, or death for the infidels. And that is why infidels need to be aware of this and need to be taking concrete steps against it, rather than denying it or trying to explain it away or blame it all on the supposed atrocities of the West. Even if the West were pure and pristine and had never done anything wrong, the jihad imperative would still remain within Islamic texts and teachings, and it's not going to go away. I'm Robert Spencer. Thank you.